What's up, everybody? So, week 4 against the Denver Broncos interconference rival matchup. Looks like, man, we got a surprise win in there last week against the Saints, 52-17. It's crazy, but we had a crazy third quarter in that game. This game looks like it could be important, definitely for our standings, but also um, maybe it's a little more even. I say more even. The last game felt like it should have been lopsided, but it wasn't. So we'll see what happens in this one. I think we're going to continue to keep the rookie at the quarterback spot, especially after such a big game. You got to reward him for that. Although one of the things that he's definitely slower, and he definitely his acceleration. While that says it's higher, it feels like I'm able to start running with Sean Hill a little bit better. So even though this like change of direction seems like it's better, it feels like Samuel should be easier to move around all around. Sean Hill seems to be much better at running the ball. So I don't know what that's about. The stats are just a little bit wonky in relationship to what it actually feels like. But let's. I want to do a couple things before we jump into this game. One, we're going to do some of these red dots, but let's look real quick at the league, kind of get a feel for what's going on in the league. Let's look at some of the statistics. Actually, you know, like we can come back to that page we were on. Yeah, and so Patrick Mahomes, leading passer, Dalvin Cook. Our guy Malone is not in there. I think he's probably top 10, but not leading. And but we do see Adoree Jackson, which is our corner, leading the league with 3 interceptions, and so that's cool. But that's kind of what we got going on with that. Um, you can kind of see that there's Malone. He's the 11th in the NFL with 286 yards, and then Odell Beckham's 92nd. So passing wise, we're just no go. So a little bit looking at that, and then let's take a look at some of the standings real quick, just to kind of see what we got here. Chiefs are 3-0. Let's just look at AFC. Chiefs and Browns leading with the Patriots behind, but of course it's early in the season, so lots of 2-1 teams. Um, so probably the undefeated sort of ones that you pay attention to. 49ers and the Eagles and the Vikings, all looking good there. Then a bunch of 2-1. Actually, not as many 2-1s on the NFC side. Some 0-3s in there. Hmm. That's kind of what it's looking like for those of you who are interested in that. Let's see what we got here with this little animation. It kind of looks like him a little bit. I think it's kind of wild though. I'm gonna try to give them a rest on this. I think that's what we're gonna do. Fundamentally sound. Beat the Broncos and commit 1 or fewer turnovers. Okay. 1 or fewer. Coach, we're approaching the end of the first quarter of the season. What more do you need to see out of Dylan Samuel? Well, I think the chemistry stuff is good. We just want him to be himself, continue doing his part to play, build chemistry, keep our offense rolling. That's about right. That's kind of what I feel about it. I'm not looking for a lot out of this guy. We need to score 4 touchdowns. Okay, might be able to do it. We might. Let's take a look at the Broncos. See what we need to look at here. Matthew Stafford. Okay. Matthew Stafford's the quarterback over there. Looking to lead the Broncos to victory. Javonte Williams, okay. I got 2 pretty good running backs. They may be able to run. The Computers tried to run on us. I think The Saints, what's his name? The Saints running back was able to get some good running on us. Um, Judy is always tough. Jerry Judy is always tough. Cortland Sutton is always tough for us as well. So we'll see what happens with those guys. Noah Fant is always tough. Offensive line is not bad. Defensive line, okay. Very good. Looked like we had good middle linebackers, good cornerback play. No, actually, we feel like we can probably beat that. Maybe evenly matched there. Huh. So I don't know. What's the play here with these guys? I think what we'll do is play same thing. We'll kind of play the medium pass here, and we'll run it. And let's see what we get out of that. Just a second. Need to check something real quick. Let me see what we got going on with the injuries. Man, I kind of hate that my boy Harrison is out. He's such a big hitter, you know, and I don't like that he is. I don't like that he is struggling with the injury. All right, let's go on and jump into this game against the Denver Broncos. Again, minimum commentary. You guys know how it is. Go ahead, like and subscribe to the channel if you're up to it. Thursday night primetime, Game 4, 2024. Here we go.
It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports, where division rivals will clash in the AFC West. It's the reigning Super Bowl champs and the Broncos on Thursday night primetime.
A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a longtime starter in the NFL, a former #1 overall pick way back in 2009. It's Matthew Stafford.
And Matthew Stafford was taken first overall in the 2009 draft, and he certainly played like a top pick. Throughout his career, he's been one of the most prolific passers in the league, and there's no reason to believe he's going to slow down his production anytime soon. Not only that, he's also one of the tougher quarterbacks in the league as well.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here, second down. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
I have to admit, I was extremely...
Sorry about that. Had somebody at the door.
About what I saw on tape, because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Now a first down throw. Stafford completes it to Fant on the right side. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Stafford on first down. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already in the field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people just like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. That's Yannick Ngakoue with a sack.
So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
After the sack on first down, Stafford. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And the Raiders have got him. Yannick Ngakoue, his second sack of the night.
The competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
The Broncos send out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. So now it's the Raiders' turn to go on offense for the first time. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the gun on 3rd down, Samuel.
And that's caught. It's Brian Edwards. And he is going to have the Raiders' first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A look there at his numbers on the ground a week ago. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Going to give this time to the tailback.
He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. Looking to throw on second down. Samuel. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
On third down, Samuel. And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be, and now it's fourth down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they've got it 2nd and 7. They give it to Williams, running right. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. Stafford. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain night, and it's a good one. Now, after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Now a stoppage, and we've got Chubb shaken up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. From the gun on third down, Samuel. It's caught. Mitchell. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line.
So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. and it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. Two of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
To throw again on second down. Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on third down.
Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. A field goal try forthcoming now for the Broncos. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. McPherson's kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So the turnover leads to points as they had 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there and a nice win for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Operating from the gun, Samuel. And able to complete it to Moreau. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Oh, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Samuel buying time to his left. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, 1st round went to the offense, 2nd round the defense. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Being chased out left. Finding room to the... And now a fumble. The ball's out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Good job starting on that scramble. Had his eyes on that 1st down marker, CD, but lost the most important thing, the football.
Yeah, wasn't quite there. Focused solely on getting to the 1st down marker. Forgot to cover up and take care of the ball.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often because that can be the make or break difference on a play.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. On third down, here's Williams. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. Third down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to first down.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable.
Come on, man. You got to make that pass.
On that one. This time, they were ready for it.
Left side, that's caught by Mitchell. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Out to the left, that's where the tight end Moreau is. Touchdown.
Let's go, Foster. I see you.
Foster Moreau as the first half is winding down, and the Raiders have taken the lead.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive as they'll take over with just 13 seconds to go before the break. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. On first down at Stafford.
Oh, let's go, Simmons.
He threw that into coverage. It was easily intercepted. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. A final shot before the break. Stafford. He's airing it out for Williams. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front as we send you. And just like that, on we head to half number 2.
These two teams making their final adjustments before coming out for the second half. And for the call, we go back out to Denver and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Yeah, they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A big play there on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And now here's a carry heading left. And he's got room. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 79 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Samuel, space to run past the 20. And all the way down to the 17-yard line.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked.
Touchdown! A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. On first down, Stafford here. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the U.S.
Jackson gets another interception. I think he's got one in every game so far. At least 3 of the games.
Back-to-back weeks now with a pick.
Give me that.
He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
But we always always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of these.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try the air now with Stafford. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Sutton. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Let's go. I see you, Simmons.
Isaiah Simmons with a big-time sack on 3rd down.
Man, he covered both of those. I think he goes for the running back and then evades the block.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And that will hit and continue on out of bounds. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the side.
We didn't have nowhere to go.
On 2nd down, they'll try and run the counter. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7.
Oh, yeah.
Now, after that last running play, we've got an offensive lineman down on the field.
No.
We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Throwing on 3rd and long. Samuel.
Oh, nice catch. Nice throw.
Gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34.
Samuel to Mitchell. That's a nice throw and catch.
This offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down.
Right over his head.
In the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown
Nice play.
throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Samuel. Flush to his right. Shreds the tackle. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Well, when you've got a quarterback like this dead to rights, you got to make sure to wrap up. Instead, though, he breaks free and off he goes.
Yeah, and at the risk of sounding just a little bit trite, this is just a tackle that needs to be made. It's one thing when you've got a bruising 230-pound running back coming your way, but when it's a quarterback who's running for his life, your teammates will tell you, you've got to get him on the ground.
And the next-gen stats shows he picked up an even 20 yards after the initial contact. 2nd and 5. From the gun, Samuel. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Got a man, it's caught.
Good throws. Samuel's warming up.
Down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A big play there for the Raiders.
Nice throw.
Now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other, and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover him. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Operating from the gun, Samuel. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Von Miller in to drop him behind the line for a loss of a yard. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Samuel escaping the pressure right. Odell Beckham there to make the grab. And the Raiders are closing in on a 3rd as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt the return. Set to take over, the Broncos offense trots back out. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? Well, a lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. This is the tight end Fant. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
From the 27, Stafford. Incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Got a man open, it's Sutton. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Okay, baby, let's go. Let's go. I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Stafford's throw here into the hands of the receiver, Judy. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. A great job there, Charles, just to hold on, absorb that contact. I guess that's the risk you take catching the ball toward the middle of the field.
It is, and if you're going to gain yardage, you're going to have to go there at some point. But how about the read, okay? The eyes of that play, stepping out from the middle of the field and really making a big hit. Did not get free, but boy, that's a tough area to go into when you're going into his spot.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down when they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Stafford. On the slant, it's Fant. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 33.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Stafford now to throw. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. The shotgun snap for Stafford. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, That required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Line of scrimmage, the 9. 2nd and about a yard. Now Stafford. Over the middle, complete to Judy. Touchdown, Broncos. Jerry Judy, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And I think the Broncos have it. They do. Great job by the kick team there to get the football, but also don't forget about the man that started it, the lonesome kicker himself.
I love that you brought him into it because he doesn't get nearly the attention he deserves. Oftentimes it's only when it's negative. In this case, he created a positive play for his team.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. That is caught. It's Williams. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Oh, I missed them.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Meanwhile, Stafford's throw taken in by Sutton. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Throwing again is Stafford. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Raider D, they get the football back. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Going to give this time to the tailback.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've run the ball 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Las Vegas, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week where they take on the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for Denver, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals.
Pretty good game for Dylan Samuel. With 236, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. That interception was a bit of a bogus interception. Not a bad throw. So not a bad game for him. Asked him to do a little bit more. And he was nice on the ground. Didn't get 100 yards with Malone, though. And we normally like to do that. Andrew Mitchell. Really, there's no standout receiver. I feel like we're catching Odell Beckham, but if there's a standout, maybe it's Foster Moreau. He's kind of been really reliable, but everybody else is kind of vying to stand out. I don't mind throwing to any of them, though, so nobody's standing out in a bad way. Trevor Merrick with 10 tackles on the day. And lots of sacks. And Ngakoue with 2 early in the first quarter. And then Crosby, Henderson, and Simmons. I thought I came in with Jackson. Maybe that was last game. Oh, no, again, another game where the third quarter kind of separated everything. Defense came through in the third quarter. Offense scored. And it created some distance for us to be able to get the W.